Alrighty, guys, what is up? My Will Password here with another video game review. Today we are going to be reviewing Shadow Warrior 3. We just completed this game uh, like the other day. So I will be giving you my personal review. I have a lot of good and bad things to say about it, but I'll try to keep it short. Just just like the game. That is probably one of my um biggest complaints. That was way too short. The story, I finished almost everything in about from start to end in less than 6 hours. I'm missing one achievement according to Steam and less than 6 hours of gameplay. It's super short. Unless you feel like doing New Game Plus, the story is about 6 hours if you go casually, maybe 5 hours if you're fast. Um, yeah, Shadow Warrior, the series is about Lo Wang killing monsters or demons or whatever you want to call them um, in that time setting, kind of like a shooter, hack and slash, first person. Shadow Warrior 2 had the looter aspect to it. Um, but Shadow Warrior 3 is very much like the first Shadow Warrior. Um, Super linear, but really great gameplay. I think the first thing that came to mind when I played Shadow Warrior 3 as well as 1, it was very much reminded me of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal in terms of the gameplay and the combat. Um, like you get a certain amount of weapons that you can use, and each of those have like a couple of upgrades you have to look for with their with little quote unquote collectibles that up your weapon upgrades or character upgrades. So it was very similar. It had the combat vibe of Doom and the movement vibe of Doom as well. But the story was super linear, kind of easy to catch on. I'm not gonna talk about the story because of spoilers. But it is it's not it's not a boring story, but it's not like super enticing at the same time. So um you'll have a lot of fun with it. I think for me it was more of just like kind of like not really turn your brain off type of game. But it's just really fun. It still kept the same type of comedy that you would get from Shadow Warrior and Lo Wang, with his witty comments, sometimes a little over sexualized, but um it worked. Reminds me of Deadpool. Um so if you like all that stuff, I think you'll have a good time. Like I said, my main complaint was that it was super short. It was only 5 6 hours of gameplay. If you're depending on how rushed you want to go, you might have to do a second playthrough to get all the little collectibles, since you have to get all the orbs, which are like your collectibles that raise your um character and weapon upgrades. Um, the second biggest thing I noticed that I wasn't a fan of was the lack. Oh, not the lack. It was really there's some bad performance issues in terms of cinematic to gameplay transition. Like every time like a cinematic or from gameplay to cinematic, my game my my game would always freeze up for a few seconds, but from cinematic to game it was almost perfect. Um yeah, so it kind of it was just weird. Um there were some frame drops here and there, but nothing too bad. You should be fine. It's not too bad, too much of a demanding game. Um, the menu, like you see in the video, will is smooth and it's simple and clean. Um, yeah, there are some challenges to get you more orbs for that collectible because there is one achievement where you have to get all the um upgrades and collectibles, and that's the only one I'm missing. But I had no patience to do that right at this second. But it yeah, so that, and then what I noticed, this is more towards the end, but um there was a ton of platforming, and I felt like that was not really Shadow Warrior. Um When you think of Shadow Warrior, you just think about running around, shooting, or hack and slashing people with a little dash button. Um, Shadow Warrior 3 had the grappling hook, the double jump, the mantle or the vaulting, the wall running. It very much felt like Titanfall 2 or Titanfall. Um, and it didn't feel that part didn't feel like Shadow Warrior at all. Um, but somehow they incorporated it. The dialogue was good. I think the gameplay itself was, I think it was fun, very entertaining, fast paced. It wasn't boring. It it worked and it was a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, I think if you, I wouldn't pay full price. If you definitely find it on sale, I would pick it up for sure. I don't think the amount of time you would invest into this game plus the price tag does not add up. Um, but I know I got this on sale, so I was happy with it. Um, I'm pretty sure Lo as well. Lo Wang, I think, is a different voice actor too for this one. Um, yeah. So, and I think there's less characters. There were different. There was a good amount of diversity in the enemies, and they all had their own characteristics, which I thought was good instead of just having one generic enemy at a time or one generic enemy like overall. Um, so yeah, it was. I think overall it was good. I give it a solid 6. Just like the amount of game hours I spent in here, from start to finish. Uh, if it was longer and probably less platforming, I'd probably give it a higher rating. But overall, it is a good game. It it goes back to its original gameplay of the first Shadow Warrior. So if you like that, I would pick it up. It's a nice little game. Um, I know you won't spend a lot of time in it, but it is a good one and done playthrough. But yeah, that is my review for Shadow Warrior 3. Hope you guys enjoy and that you make your decision whenever. If you do or do not get it, that's up to you. But yeah, I will put my socials down below the stream. I'll put it down below the video, and you guys can follow me on Twitch, Discord, Twitter, all that stuff. And put down in the comments what you liked or didn't like about the game too. And yeah, don't forget to drop a sub. I do a lot of other video game reviews on here, so go check those out as well as Twitch clips. And I used to do a host of podcasting for the Fallout community. Some of those episodes are on there as well. So yeah, hopefully I get to see you guys in the next video. So adios.